What's up, y'all? This is Lady Miz, and this is Talk Therapy, where conversation is the cure. Today, I'm going to be discussing why we need to stop suffering in silence. Let's get into it.
From the Ground Up Productions presents Talk Therapy with Lady Miz. She is here to listen and give advice, but brace yourself. If you can't handle the truth, because she's not sugarcoating a thing. She's getting to the root of the problem and addressing the ugly truth. You're now tuned in to Talk Therapy with Lady Miz.
I'm going to speak to you from things that I've seen with other people and also things that I've been through myself when it comes to suffering in silence. Now, there's many reasons why we would do that, right? First of all, we do it strictly off of the strength that we don't really want people in our business, because we always want to portray this image that we're okay, that we're happy, that we don't need anybody, that we're strong, right? We got all of these things that we want the people, the outside world to see, that you want your peers to see, your other family members, friends, whoever. You want them to see you in a certain light. So you will suffer in silence, acting and pretending like you're okay when you are not. First of all, let me just say, sometimes it's okay to not be okay. There are going to be issues because nothing is perfect. It's not about what you go through. It's about what you get through. And that's where the suffering and silence come from. How are you getting through this? How are you overcoming the issues and the trauma that you're facing, the depression that you're going through? How are you dealing with this? And are you dealing with it alone? Most of the time, what do people say? I don't want to talk to nobody because I don't want people in my business. People are just nosy. Don't nobody really care anyway. What are they actually going to do for me if I told them? They just want to gossip about my situation. People just want to see me when I'm down. You know, look, we got a whole bunch of excuses on why we don't seek help or talk to the right people. We have to talk to the right people that can help us get through moments that we're struggling through. And it's okay to do that. You just have to know who they are. Now, again, look, I know a lot of us, especially us, we have trouble with trusting other people. It is based off of history. It's based off of environments that we've been exposed to, people that we've been exposed to, people that we trusted that portrayed our trust. So now it's like, wait a minute, I'm not putting myself back in that situation. Okay. Ain't no way I'm going to be putting myself back in the same situation with somebody for them to do me dirty again. So we look for those signs in the people that did us a certain type of way from our past. The only problem with that is that you're not always accurate with every individual. Sometimes people do mean well. There are good people out there. You just have to find them. You do have to give people a chance. You can't look for every little flaw. I had that problem. As soon as I seen one little thing that I didn't like, I was like, I'm not dealing with them. You know, I keep my circle extremely small. I mean, small, dot small, because of the past issues that I had with so many different people. I used to hang out with so many different people. I was exposed to so many different types of people and characters, right? I was always somewhere where there were a lot of different people from different areas. So you're dealing with a lot. You're dealing with a lot. You're dealing with a lot of emotions. You're dealing with a lot of different characteristics. You know, people who grew up a certain way, people who was exposed to certain things. So they are going to be who they are. When we talk about nature and nurture, they're going to be who they are, and you can't change that. Instead of being so quick to judge somebody off of their flaws because you seen one thing you didn't like or something that they did that didn't sit right with you, you got to factor in, is it a horrible thing? Does that make them a bad person? Or is it just something, a flaw that they have that you don't like, that you don't have, right? See, a lot of times we could judge people, oh, I'm not like that. But I bet you have another flaw, though. I'm sure you got a flaw that somebody else don't have that they don't like. But do we want to be judged off of our flaws and have people not like us or talk to us because we are not perfect? And that is what fuels us to say we don't want to talk to or deal with or trust anyone at all. How would you be able to get and find the person that you can trust if you don't give anyone a chance? You have to give people a chance. Now, don't look. I gave too many chances, and I still give too many chances. But I believe in giving the chance because I know that I might do something that somebody might not like, and it doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. It just means that that's a flaw that I have. And I would love to have the opportunity to show them who I really am. But if they only judge me off of that one thing, how would they ever get to know me? They won't. They'll just be holding on to that flaw. We have problems with that and we need to eradicate it, okay? Because it's not healthy. Because you're going to miss out opportunities to deal with good people. Just because the bad outweigh the good, it doesn't mean that the good doesn't exist. Yes, it's like a needle in a haystack, baby. Okay? It is. But it doesn't mean that the needle ain't there. So yeah, you have some people that probably don't wish you well. You got some people that probably do want to see you suffering. I'm not saying that those things don't exist. So you do have to be careful with what you say and who you talk to. But at the same time, you still have to sometimes make a sacrifice in trusting a little bit somebody to see what they're about. At the end of the day, we all want to protect our inner peace, especially since that might be all you have left, right? Your peace is important. Your mental state of mind is important. And if you're already going through stuff, you do not need somebody else adding to that or pretending to be there when you know that they're not there because they are truly there from their heart. Maybe it's other alternatives. Maybe, I don't know what it is. I could list a whole bunch of different things. Or they might just really be there. There's been times that I've been helped by people that really didn't want nothing from me. And then there's times where people want everything from me. You know what I mean? So you do have to decide, like, what is the purpose behind it? And sometimes somebody wanting something from you is not really always a bad thing. One hand washes the other. We don't have to always look at everything as a trade-off as such a bad thing, right? It's called bartering. If you really want to be, technical, you help me, I help you. You need this, I need that. How are we going to help each other? It's nothing wrong with that. So again, it's about how you see things. It's almost like looking at the glass. I know this is a cliche. It might come off a little corny, but it's like looking at the glass half empty. Not good. You got to look at the glass half full. Stop paying attention to what you don't have. Pay attention to what you do have, because that is what helps you, and it helps your mindset in the way that you think. When you think a certain way, you become that. When you become that, your characteristics, you portray that. That's what you put out into the universe. That's the energy that you let off, right? So when you let that type of energy off, what do you think is going to come back? What you put out is what you get back. That's why I always say it's so important to pay attention to who you surround yourself with, who you communicate with, your circle, the people. I don't care, family or not. Pay attention to the energy. Pay attention to the energy that someone gives off, because energy don't never lie. It don't never lie. Every time I peeped energy and I talked myself out of what I saw, I got every time. And that's real talk. I'm not trying to be funny. I did. But you know what? There was times where I didn't trust people who were genuine. And because of that, sometimes I now look like the bad person because now I'm coming off a certain way when there is actually somebody that's good, that didn't have no ill will. They just wanted to help, but I didn't trust it because of my past. So instead of me allowing people to come in to help, I suffered in silence. I know that it's hard, because like unfortunately, you got to pay attention to everything and everyone, okay? That is down to your closest friends, who you surround yourself with, who you hang out with, who you might see periodically, sporadically, sometimes. You know what I mean? So you got to pay attention to them. You got to pay attention to your peers. You got to pay attention to your family members. Why are they coming around? Are they coming around because they really genuinely want to see you? Do they want something from you? Do they just want to see what you got going on? Are they genuine? Where are they coming from? These are all the things that you have to look for because it's important. You never know who is really truly there because they care. Sometimes it could be your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your spouse. Sometimes people that you think should be cheering for you the hardest, that want you to win, don't even want you to win. They're so afraid that you might win that it's going to make them lose you because they won't be good enough for you anymore. So they rather see you fail. They rather see you fail because they're so afraid that your win will make them disappear. But one thing that I say to people, if you a real one, you ain't never going nowhere because real respect and recognize real, right? So at the end of the day, somebody had told me one time, Miz, come back for your people, right? First of all, I ain't never went nowhere. Neither have my people, because my people gonna always be there. I don't need to go back because I never left them and they ain't never left me. See, there's a difference. You can't go back for somebody who wasn't there for you, somebody who didn't like you, somebody who didn't support you, somebody who tried to tear you down. So what am I going back for? For them to do me dirty? Nah, you keep yourself out of that situation. So there is a difference when we talk about this here. Suffering in silence. You still got to be careful. I'm not ever going to tell you to put yourself in a situation for you to get got. Okay? I ain't going to tell you that. I'm telling you, be careful with people who you think you can trust, but ultimately and deep down, you really can't trust them. But don't allow them people to make you miss out on people that you really can trust. I pay attention to everybody in my circle, everybody that comes around me, and I pay attention to people that's not in my circle, people that I might come into interact with, because I need to know, if something happened or something came up, what and who I'm dealing with. And back to like I said, there could be family members that don't want to see you succeed or don't want to see certain things, so they will not support you off of that, or they'll look for everything back to talk about you because they'd rather shine the light on that and focus on that and tell everybody about that, rather than tell people the great things that you're doing, the good things about you. That, are you a giving and loving person? What do you do? Or is it that they focused on your flaws more? So those people, of course, you're going to suffer in silence because you're not going to want to talk to them about anything. But those are the ones that you probably feel you should be able to talk to. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your spouse, right? You going to them and you thinking that they're supposed to be holding you down and cheering for you, but secretly they want you to fail because they might want to feel needed. And if they don't feel needed, now they feel less than. They might think that you got too many eyes on you. So then it's a jealousy thing. They might want you to fail so that you don't get to a point, like I said, that makes them think they're not good enough for you anymore. But when you have true, loyal people, you should never have to worry about that, because you're being guided by your morals. You understand? You're being guided by your morals. Your spirit is good. Who you are as a person is good. So anybody that questions that, now you got to question the whole relationship. What is going on here? mother, father, sister, brother, friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse. What's really good? What is going on? How are we here if we're supposed to be able to be there for each other, trust each other, hold each other up, lift each other up, speak well? Like, listen, most of the people, and it's so sad because to sit here and think like most, I'm not saying all, most of my supporters died. I had thorough people that if I wasn't in the room, I know they were speaking my name. And I know it because other people came back and told me, oh, I heard about you. Such and such always talk about you. This one talk, I'm talking from Dwayne to Cisco. Most of them, and it's crazy because most of them, and I'm not saying that there are no females that don't do it. These were guys that I was crazy cool with. I know they would speak in my name. I also know when my name is being spoken when it's not good because people talk. Dudes too. You understand? So I always knew people always slip up. And one thing about me, I catch it. Air eye hustler all day. All day. But I just smile. Okay. Yeah. But I take in the information and that's all you got to do. Take it in. Filter out the bull crap. I'm gonna be honest, it's crazy because when we're not even talking about the closest people to us, we're talking about sometimes strangers. If you're in a field where you have to be social, right? It could be entertainment, podcasts, an artist, a radio station, a model, a clothing designer, something that they're all tied together. And you're putting yourself out there. There could be somebody that you don't even know that is hating on you because you are at certain points where they've been trying to be. And that energy comes through. That's why you got to be careful with what you put out too. And if you better be praying, you better be like, I'm not trying to be funny or religious. I'm spiritual, but I'm telling you, you got to pray on what you put out there because there are people lurking in the background, not wishing you well. So I understand, and I know most people already know that, right? So I say that to say this. Just because they're there, it doesn't mean that there are not good people that's also cheering you on. So for example, you're going to have your haters. That's what they do. That's their job, right? To hate. But it also says a lot about what you're doing because they hating for a reason. And then you're going to have your supporters who believe in you. They're going to always show up and pull up and be supportive when they can. And sometimes they're not going to be able to be supportive, but you can't take it personal because you have to know that people have their own life. This is your dream, not theirs. Okay? So yeah, you might be dealing with different people on different walks of life, people that might act one way, but there are good people there and you should not be suffering in silence and not telling people what you need, what you want. And when I say telling people, remember, I always mean telling the right people what you need, what you want, what you're trying to achieve. Do you need help? Are you stressed? Are you depressed? We're living in a time right now where people are depressed like hell. Everywhere. This is why I said, you know what? Okay. I love interviewing artists. I do. But I also love to talk about, their history, their background, certain things like that. But I love to interview artists, right? And that's fun and it's entertaining. I'm into entertainment, right? Periodically, when I feel like it now, I might rap. Put some songs out, singles or albums. That's what I do. It's my hobby. That's what I like to do. So I'm gonna continue doing it. Now, you got to stay grounded. You got to make sure you protect yourself. Always do what you love and what matters to you. Do not continue to suffer in silence. I know a lot of times we do that because we've been exposed to so many different types of people and we have trust issues. We not only have trust issues, but we have issues where, it's, we take everything so personal. It's what we're doing. It's our dream. It is nobody's responsibility to always have to be there. If they're there, you have to appreciate those moments and don't hold it against them when they can't pull up. A lot of times we do that. Oh, they're not supportive. They're not here. They don't care. You think that because that's how you're thinking for yourself because you're going through a moment, but you don't know why they're not there. How do you know that something didn't happen to them? How do you know if something's not going on with them in their own personal life, their family, their finances? Maybe they can't afford to be there. Maybe they can't be there because they ain't right mentally. Maybe they're having a breakdown and they're suffering in silence, but they're not telling you. But every time you see them, they're smiling. So you think everything is great. You don't know it's not great. You just assume that it is. You assume that it's great because they are suffering in silence. And what do? You see a smile. So you automatically assume if you're happy and I'm over here struggling and we cool, you should be able to come through. You should be able to support me, but you don't know. So we have to stop assuming things with people. You never know what an individual is going through. You never know what someone is going through. So we all have to just stop being that way. We are living in a time where things are difficult. We are living in a time where people are extremely depressed. People are going through hell. Rent is too high. Mortgages is unaffordable. Interest rate is high. All the celebrities is going down. People are fighting online. Political parties is separating people, family and friends based off of who they're going to vote for. Everybody is trying to make a decision if they're going to eat tonight or if they got to put gas in their car, right? There is so many things that's happening. People are living in shelters. People are living in storage units because they can't afford the rent anymore. It is horrible. People are living on the street, but you got somewhere to live. You got food in your stomach. You got clothes on your back. And I'm not saying don't strive for more, but you mean to tell me you can't be happy with that? You didn't see the glass half full with that? You mean to tell me that you got all of that? Clean, running water. You could brush your teeth. You could take a shower. You could turn on the heat. You mean to tell me that don't make you get up and say, thank you, God, for giving me these things, for allowing me to have these things? Without you, it is not possible. I know it is because of you that I'm able to do it, but I know that I'm also a part of it too, because faith and work together, and I'm putting in the work. I'm doing what I got to do. But I know that you are carrying me through. I know that you're getting me through. I know when I feel like giving up that you're there, right? I know when things are hard, you are carrying me. That's what those footprints is about. But instead of looking at that, some people say, I don't have this. I don't have that. You're not doing this for me. You're not doing that for me. This is a problem. Here we go again. If it ain't one thing, it's another. There's always a problem. People are this, like, yo, that, all of that. Even the fact of me saying it, to tell you the truth, is bad energy. Believe it or not. But I mean, I got to talk about it. But I'm telling you, it's energy. What comes out of your mouth? The law of attraction. I have to always repeat to tell myself, "Ooh, change your language," because you just spoke something, and we could speak things into existence. That's why I don't get on Facebook talking about pray for me. You don't know what you put. First of all, if somebody say pray for me and they don't tell you what they want you to pray for, and you praying, what are you praying for? They could be praying that something happened to somebody else, and you didn't put that energy, your prayers of energy out there to help them harm someone else. Now, you might be thinking I'm crazy for saying that, but I'm just telling you. Okay? I ain't praying for nothing. I don't know what I'm praying for. I need to understand what this is about. What is this about? What am I praying for? And do I really want people praying for me? Not everybody. I don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, we got to be careful what we ask for. But you do have to look at things for what they are and say, God, thank you. Thank you for providing me with the things I have. I might not have it all. I might not have everything that I want, but I'm here. I'm breathing. I got life. I got air in my lungs. I could sit down and eat a meal. I don't care if you got that meal from a shelter. I don't care where you got it from. You was able to eat. That's a blessing. Because somebody right now ain't even got that. But we are so spoiled here in this country that sometimes we forget about the blessings we have. And we become depressed and sad. Sometimes some people become suicidal because with all that going on, they won't even tell anybody what they're really feeling and what's really happening and what's really going on inside because they are suffering in silence. Here are some of the things that you can do to help you. Now, I spoke about this before, but I want to tell you, first of all, you have to pray. If you're an atheist, use your law of attraction, your energy, your thoughts, and think positive things and just put them out there. However, I don't judge nobody off of what they believe or what they don't believe. It's not for me. My judgment for another human being, another sinner like myself, I have no place to judge anyone for what they believe in. So however you choose to put that energy out there, rather it's through praying, through meditation, through energy, through, however you do it, just do it. Take a minute for yourself because it is okay. It is not selfish to do you, to focus on you, to take care of you. It is not. When you talk to God or when you talk to the energy that you feel is coming from a positive light, listen to it or listen to him because he is in you, within your spirit, and that intuition, that voice inside. You got to listen to it. It's working for you. You can't work against it. You can't work against it. You have to listen to that spirit inside of you that is helping you get through certain things. Stop talking yourself out of what God is telling you not to do, the path he's trying to lead you down. Stop talking yourself out of that. Because you're going to find yourself in a situation asking, how did I get here? And wondering why you're there. The answer, it is inside of you. You know it. We all have the answer in us. Again, our minds will talk ourselves out of things. So you got your conscious and your subconscious mind battling each other. This is just talk therapy, y'all. So understand that. I am just simply talking to you, hoping that this can be an eye-opener, because talk therapy, the purpose of me doing this was for me to have a place where people could come let things out. You might not be able to get the therapy. You might not have insurance that can cover therapy. You might not have funds that can cover therapy. Sometimes you might just need somebody to talk to. Sometimes you might just need somebody to listen. This is why I created this platform, but not only just for that, for me to talk about the things that I feel, things that are stressing me out, things that I want to talk about. These are the things. This is why I created this. I know some people, listen, I be seeing the sneak disses, but I don't care. Because my platform is to give everybody a voice to be heard. Some people don't have nobody. And we're so much of suffering in silence that we feel so alone and don't want to talk to nobody or don't have nobody to talk to. But this platform I have here, I said I am going to give it to people that need to be heard. Somebody that if trying to find their voice. Maybe they don't get it with their friends. Maybe they don't get it with their family, with their parents, with their kids, with their spouse, with whoever at their job. But they can have it here. They can have it here. So it doesn't matter what type of people I am interviewing on my show. Because they're people. They're humans. And that's the problem. We've gotten away from just caring and having empathy and just caring about people. We're so caught up in everything else, in the fame and the most this and that. Not me. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I'm not. I'm cool with it all, but I'm not that caught up because I knew that everything that I do, it has to make a difference. And if I'm not making a difference and I'm just blending in with all the rest of the ratchetness, then what am I doing? What am I really doing? I ain't making no difference. I'm just blending in with the rest of the hay. I want to be the needle, like I told y'all about before. The needle in the haystack, the good person that's there, you probably can't see because there's so much of the hay that's covering, but it doesn't mean that I ain't there. I'm still here. I'm here, right? And sadly, some people don't even trust it. And I understand because I don't trust people either. But I'm working on it. But I'm learning. I am learning to trust people. I'm learning to give a chance. I'm learning to not hold people, um, um, hold their flaws against them. If they didn't intentionally try to hurt me or do me dirty and they just did certain things I don't like, then I could get around that, right? But when somebody is really trying to really, talk real badly about me and things like that, I like that. I can't let that back in my life. No, absolutely not. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We want to keep good people in our circle. We got to filter out the rest. Okay. Before I get out of here, I have to say this. There's a few things that you have to pay attention to when it comes to suffering in silence, holding it in, like bottling all of that stuff up inside you, in your freaking gut. It becomes painful. You can get sick. Your immune system can get weak. It's a domino effect. So when you hold it in, it has long-term effects that affect not only your mental health, but your physical health too. So you have to make the necessary steps to do what you have to do for you, for your mental health, for your physical health. It's not just about exercising and eating right. It's about thinking right. It's about eliminating. You coming with the drama. You coming. Don't even tell me about the bad stuff. If you're not, because first of all, if you're telling me bad things that people said about me, I need to know what did you say to defend me. How was you a part of that conversation? And if you told me about it, why you ain't tell me about it right away? Why you wait until later on? Or like all of that you gotta pay attention to. So maybe those are not the type of people that you go to in a time of need when you need somebody to talk to, because we know that their intentions is not right. So you find the good people, the ones that you feel safe with, not the ones you just want to just talk about, just to talk, just to get it off your chest. Be careful. Be very careful who you pick to do that with. Sometimes people, they choose to suffer in silence because they're fearful of something. They might be ashamed of things that they're going through. So instead of talking to the right people to get the help that they need, they just going through it. They don't want people to know. They want to keep portraying to the world that everything is okay, that everything is great. They want to smile. They want to be strong. We all been there. So they act like, look, I was good for putting on a smile. Okay, everybody, Teresa's always happy. If somebody didn't see me with that giddy like type of attitude, always laughing, always smiling, this and that, they'd be like, if they ever seen me, like caught me at a moment where I was down, it's like, oh my God. Sometimes people don't even know. They like, change that, because they can't even deal with if I have a problem, because they're not ever used to seeing me like that, because I knew how to hide it well. It was, even when I was young, growing up, everybody knew me as the happy-go-lucky person, always laughing and smiling. They had no idea how broken I was. That's why I always used to love comedy. I would never, when I went out, I'm talking about, I'm in the clubs. We used to, back in the days, Jimmy's in Harlem, not the one in the Bronx. It was one in Harlem. Like, we was always at those spots. And before, no matter where we went, I stopped at the comedy club first. There was a comedy club called Uptown Comedy Club in Harlem. I think it was 11th or 12th Ave. It was called the Uptown Comedy Club. No matter what I did, if I was hanging out in the city that night, I stopped there first. This is how I got to know, like, those, not personally, but the names of a lot of the comedians. And I needed to go there because I needed to laugh. I needed something to take my mind off of the drama, the pain, the hurt. I was suffering in silence, and this was my way to release and let go and to laugh and just forget that everything was going on before I went and turned up with my friends. Because even in time and turn up, you never know what's going to happen. But one thing that I know for sure is that I was going to get a good laugh before I went there. And laughter is good for the soul. And that's why I always pulled up at the comedy clubs. At a young age, I always look for that. I was watching comedy since I was little. But back to while we're here, recognize the signs with somebody else. If you have somebody that's close to you, you need to recognize the signs. Are they, by themselves a lot? Are they sitting in the dark? Are they, withdrawn? Did they stop doing daily things for themselves? Are they not sociable? Are they not going out? Like, what is going on? Recognize the signs. One of the things that you got to do this, especially with your kids too. There was a time when, my kids were going through things, and because being the mother that I am, always wanting to prove a point and show them, like, be strong in a certain way. There's a couple of times I missed the mark, but I'm a person. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Do this. Turn that light on. Da, 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 da. Right? I'm saying all these things, but what I should have said was, are you okay? What is going on? Do you want to talk to me? I'm here for you. This is a safe place. Anything that you feel and you have, this is a safe place for you to let it out. I'm here to hold you up. I don't care what it is. I want you to know it's safe. You're safe with me. Even if you think you did something wrong, you are safe with me. I'm here and I got your back. Right? There was times I didn't do that. Now I'm learning. Even if I fall off track and I come a little hardcore, right? I got to bring it back to the motherly, nurturing love to make sure that my kids know that I'm here. We don't know when our last day is going to be on earth. So I always say, this might be my last opportunity. So I got to tell them what they need to hear, and I need to do what I need to do. I'm just talking for kids, right? If you're a parent, your kids could be suffering in silence, not feeling safe to talk to you. Do you create a safe place for them to talk to you? Do you create a safe place for it to be an open lines of communication? Always a respectable boundary, though. But you can still have an open lines of communication. Don't let your kids suffer in silence. That's what we're here for. To lift them up, to hold them up. And last but not least, just don't put that narrative out there that seeking help, there's a problem, like something wrong with you, or attaching it to being crazy. We all, our brains, our emotions, our feelings, we all go through stuff. Sometimes some things are hard to bear. So with that being said, if it's hard to bear and we're going through things, we might need a person that cannot be judgmental to help us. We might need a person that is not going to judge us, that doesn't have an emotional attachment to what we're going on, to talk to, so that they could give us good, sound advice. So think of that before you turn your back and say, I'm not going to go talk to nobody, or I'm not going to go get help, or I'm not going to send my kids to talk to nobody, or I'm not going to tell my friends that. Nah, we all need help sometimes. And it's okay to get it. So I'm going to say this one last time before I get up out of here. Don't suffer in silence, because there is always somebody there that really cares for you. You just got to find the right person. Even if it's a new person that you met, give them a chance or go get help. I'm going to get up out of here, guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, From the Ground Up Productions. From the Ground Up Productions is where we do many different podcasts and different topics on this production, under this production company. From the Ground Up Production is the umbrella. Talk Therapy is just one of the shows under From the Ground Up. So hit that like button wherever you're watching us from, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, or if you're listening to us on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts, hit the like button Share this with somebody who needs to hear it. Leave a comment. Also, if you have some insight that you can give me or anybody listening, tell us what it is so that we don't suffer in silence either. Give us your tools that you use to not suffer in silence. This is Lady Miz. I'm signing off. This is Talk Therapy, where conversation is the cure. And I'll see y'all on the next episode. Hey guys, if you want to sponsor our show or place an ad on our podcast, please contact us at fromthegroundupproductions@gmail.com, or you could give us a call at 845-288-2989. Let's collab and reach our audience together.
We hope you enjoyed your time with Lady Miz on Talk Therapy. We'll see you next time. Be sure to add our channel to your Roku list and listen to us on all streaming platforms.